What's going on YouTube? I'm E and this is SimplyPut Scents. And I wanted to share with you guys my fragrance starting lineup for the winter. So I know this list is a little bit late, guys. You know, better late than never though. It's been an amazing winter. It hasn't been as cold, so I've been able to wear a lot more things, you know. I've had a lot more options because of the weather, so that's really cool. All of the fragrances I'm gonna mention in this starting lineups video are fragrances that I actually own and are fragrances that I literally wear consistently. In my starting lineup videos, I like to do things a little differently, and I like to use the baseball theme. In 2 weeks, pitchers and catchers will be linking up in spring training facilities all across the country, and so that's usually the start of the baseball season. So I want to share with you guys the positions. Let's go. So my leadoff man is obviously my daytime fragrance, and in the winter this has to be a scent that can last through the day, that can also cut through the cold. Usually when you're wearing a lot of heavy clothing, especially like around your neck, your scarf will tend to like rub a lot of your fragrance off. So you want your fragrance to be able to take a beating from the house of Dame Perfumery, and the fragrance is Black Flower Mexican Vanilla. Black Flower Mexican Vanilla really is just an extremely great high-end vanilla fragrance that only costs about $85 for a 100 ml. It's absolutely insane. I picked up, I believe it was a 50 ml for around 65. So I do believe Dame Perfumery has upped the bottle sizes and just charged $20 more for about 50 ml more worth of fragrance. Just awesome. The scent is beautiful. It smells high-end, quality is on point, it lasts on your skin. It will definitely make it through your day, and it just smells really good. At night, you want your fragrance to impress, because usually when you're wearing a nighttime fragrance, you're wearing it because you're going out. So my nighttime winter fragrance also has to be a fragrance that cuts through the cold. It also has to be a fragrance that is impressive. What I mean by impressive, it has to be a scent that's going to enhance my image. So the two fragrances that I chose for my cleanup hitter fragrance is from the house of Christian Dior, and that fragrance is Dior Parfum. And the other fragrance that's tied with it, from the house of Gucci Intense Edp. Guys, both these fragrances, in my opinion, are exceptional. I have no issue in saying that. Matter of fact, in both of my reviews for these fragrances, which I will link down below, or which you should probably see somewhere, yeah, I gave both these fragrances exceptional E ratings. I absolutely believe these fragrances are stunning scents, they're wow factor fragrances, and they're head turners. I mean, that just pretty much sums it all up. My designated hitter fragrance is pretty much the fragrance that I won't be using that often, but when I do use it, I want it to come through in the clutch, just like a designated hitter. And this is also what I would consider my daring fragrance. And my winter daring fragrance, without question, Amouage Interlude May.
I hear you're quite an animal.
Okay, so when you first start to smell this fragrance, you're gonna be bombarded with oregano. You're gonna be bombarded with vanilla. You're gonna be bombarded with incense. And they're gonna come at you hard. along with amber, along with sandalwood, leather, oud, a pomponax. I mean, it's a very likable fragrance, even though there's so much going on and even though it's a very aggressive scent. So my 8th starter, guys, is going to be my fragrance that I will wear for those formal occasions. And guys, the 8th picture shuts it down. And when you're wearing a suit and tie, nothing complements a suit and tie, and of course nice shoes. Nothing complements it better than an amazing formal fragrance. And to me, guys, no formal fragrance comes close, at least in a designer presentation, to my winter 8th starter fragrance, Opium. Eau de Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. Opium by YSL is next level, guys. The black currant, the star anise, the balsam, the vanilla, guys. And then to top it all off, they hit you with some pepper dudes. Man, Opium will have you needing a fix. And that fix will be more opium. And it's awesome, guys. And with the suit and tie, it's really hard to beat it. The setup, man, is the fragrance that I'll be choosing to set things up, to make the mood a little bit more seductive. So my setup, man, fragrance is from the house of Thierry Mugler Pure Malt. Guys, Pure Malt is the perfect fragrance for intimate moments. It just is. It's a very cozy fragrance that I notice women like to smell when they hug you. And the awesome thing about Pure Malt is that even though it's sweet, it's unmistakably masculine.
He ain't lying.
Pure Malt just knocks it out the park when it comes to a fragrance made for men that is very easy for women to appreciate. And of course, my closer fragrance is gonna be the fragrance that I wear to work, because this is the fragrance that I want to close the deal, okay? This is the fragrance that I want to enhance my image, help allow me to foster a feeling of rapport and trust with others. This is the fragrance that just helps me make money. And when you're making money, sometimes you don't want to do a few things. You don't want to offend others. You don't want to come across too aggressive. And you want your fragrance to be easy to like. Because let's face it, guys, if people like you, you're going to make money. And that's just the facts. So the fragrance that I chose to be my closer, to close out the game for me, is from the house of Boss. And the fragrance is Boss Bottled Intense Eau de Parfum. The EDP of Intense is actually more intense. It's a great fragrance for the work environment. You will definitely get compliments wearing this fragrance. And it smells a little richer. It smells more upscale. And it's lacking this weird, cheap note that I noticed in the other two. It's got less of it, I should say, much less of it. And guys, finally, the manager of my winter starting lineup. This is usually my fragrance that I would pretty much substitute for all the other fragrances in my lineup from the house of Tom Ford. Black Orchid. You know, guys, what I really think is interesting about Black Orchid is how it's constructed. You know, I mean, it's packed with a crap load of notes, just like an old school fragrance would from like the 80s or the 70s, yet it's blended to perfection You would not expect as many fragrance notes in this scent as there are. It doesn't smell like a complete mess, even though it has so much going on. And even though it's constructed like an old school scent, the beautiful thing about this fragrance is it's so modern. And it's so timeless. I could see this fragrance being amazing 10, 20 years from today. And I hope I have bottles of it. It's fruity, it's chocolatey, it's dark, it's got florals that I actually can tolerate. And to be honest with you guys, it has a base of some of the, and to be honest with you guys, it's got an amazing base with some of my favorite notes in perfumery. So yeah, Black Orchid is just a Hall of Fame fragrance. It could have been in a private blend bottle. So guys, we should be very lucky that Time considered this designer worthy. I could easily say that Black Orchid is worth 200 plus. In my opinion, it is. So I kind of consider it a bargain, even at its retail price. So thank you so much, guys, for watching this. I really appreciate you for checking this out. I'm curious though what your starting lineup would be for the winter. What your starting lineup fragrances have been so far. Like, what are your daring fragrances? What are your managing fragrances? What are your date scents of the winter time? Like, what scents do you guys go to for the winter? I'm really interested in knowing. Please comment down below, because you know I will comment back, and I always appreciate reading you guys' experiences and your thoughts. And of course, please like this video if you feel like it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed to SimplyPut Scents, please do so. I would really appreciate your support and be definitely grateful for it. Guys, I'm E. This is SimplyPut Scents. And I'm Simply OUT. Peace. Heritage is a fragrance that a lot of people sleep on in the newer generations. Us newer arrivals to the fragrance scene usually ignore Heritage because we consider it a grandpa type of fragrance. And I want to let you guys know straight out, it's not. It's totally not.